Hope that you're having a wonderful holiday. My name is Robin. If this is your first time watching, welcome. I'm going to be pulling out some angel cards for the next 12 months. So this should be really interesting. Just want to make sure that I am active and that people can hear me. So let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm kind of just working with my sound bowls, etc. right now. So let's get into the energy of January 2021. Again, if you're hopping on, please say hello. Let's just start in general. Okay, so I feel like these are going to be our general cards. Okay, we have Archangel Uriel. Your emotions are healing, which enables you to open to greater love. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. Okay, so this is what our card looks like, and this is just our general theme for 2021. So what's interesting is we did just have a full moon, and we still are in full moon energy. So for people that don't know anything about full moons, they are a time of releasing, and so that card is actually telling us that it's time to transition, shift, and evolve. And so often when we hit a new year, it's a time for cleansing. What is it that you're changing? And feel free to share that as well. What are you walking into that's new? So Uriel is kind of this energy where it's like we want to start from the basics up, teaching us that we can't get to where we want to get to unless we literally sometimes start from scratch. So even if you're giving yourself a hard time because maybe you haven't been doing the best things in 2020, this is kind of your opportunity. It is time. So just see it as a blessing instead of something that you're carrying that might be heavy. And if you feel like that energy is heavy for you, then just again, just pull that energy, because this is something that you don't need to carry around with you. Sometimes we choose to carry things around with us from our past because we think that we have to, but we don't. And those are things I can help you with. So the next thing that we have is Ariel again. So we have Uriel and Ariel. So we have when we have the energy of L at the end, this is to me telling us to practice a little bit more with our feelings. So emotions. And it says new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. So this is talking about someone who has been spending too much time, in a way, in isolating. So if you really want to nurture yourself and heal yourself, you have to expand your energy field. So if you're a person who is impatient, if you're someone who wants everything like instant gratification, this is saying that no, it really is about expressing how you feel, setting intentions, creating more movement and flow in your life. So if you don't take action steps on the things that you want for 2021, it's going to be, it could be easily be a pity party for some people. So it's about give other people good energy too if you sense that they're going through a really tough time. Okay, so that's our theme. So if we go into kind of didn't want to do a theme, but then those cards were kind of telling us that our theme is almost how we start 2021 is actually going to be a big indication of how we end our year. So I do believe in intention setting. I think it's really powerful and really important. And again, with the full moon energy, if you don't let go of the stuff that's happened to you in 2020, then how are you going to work towards the new, right? So let's go into January. This is a really weird energy. Actually, it's saying that January is kind of like almost into um, February 9th. That's what's coming up. So it's January to February 9th. All right. It says, Vanessa, to make your decision, ask yourself which way brings me closer to my divine purpose, which way takes me away from it. So we just said that. If you aren't letting go of things that happened to you in the past, then how can you start new things? So if you're quitting smoking, well, if you're still smoking here and there, you're not really starting with fresh lungs, right? So I get that feeling of like, if you really want to do something, you have to decide that that's what you want for you. And when we work with the energy of Vanessa, she's kind of a little bit open, And I kind of feel like it's important to hold space for yourself at this time. So, for instance, if you're struggling with addiction or drugs or whatever it is, just giving that as an example, well, this is saying that you might have like a lot of years of pain. And so from January to almost mid February, you might be feeling that you are almost like ridding yourself of old kind of junk that doesn't belong to you anymore. Because if you want to identify with yourself as a new person, you have to believe that that's possible. So it feels like there's some mental health issues for some people during this time where it's about really finalizing some details. Okay, if I want this, then I need to close this chapter in my life, which makes sense with our theme. Okay, and whenever we work with green, that's money, health, new beginnings, and being fertile, really refreshing new things in our life. So I love that. And it does feel like some people are healing from the past and some people are just like completely ignoring that these things are even existent. So really make sure that you have New Year's resolutions, and nobody's responded that they can hear me, so I'm assuming that you can, but let me know because I want to make sure that you can. All right, let's get into February. I'm feeling like, again, some people are really peaceful and some people have a lot of pain. So if we go into February, we have Archangel Michael. I am with you, giving you the courage to make life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose. So far we've had two cards. I can hear you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. So I have two cards that say the exact same thing: divine life purpose, divine life purpose. And so whenever we work with Michael, for people that don't know, Michael is an energy of protection. It's about, we have Valentine's Day in there, but we have much more than that because we are, as I said, starting new and starting fresh. So you might feel like it's a time to expand not just your energy in January, but your talents more so in February. So you might be feeling like new skills, um, new desires, new plans. So it makes sense when we have to revitalize our energy when we feel like, okay, even if you're detoxing and you're cleansing, it might be time to just, if it's hitting the gym or whatever it is, it's going to be really hard in February too, because not only are you detoxing in January, but then you're like starting something brand new and fresh as a result of how you're then starting to feel. It takes us a really long time to build up momentum and strength and motivation. But this is saying just to rely a bit more on your self esteem in February, because you might find that if you've had trauma and if you've had pain, then there's this like recovery mode that happens. So just give yourself a little bit of like a relaxation time as well to integrate the things that you've been implementing in your life. And I know a lot of people think that New Year's resolutions that they don't work out, but a lot of that is because like there's just a time frame that has to happen. It has to be realistic sometimes. So it's not going to be your January, it's going to be your entire year. So if you want to really create something in 2021, it's not just for 1 month, it's for the entire year. And you have to look at it as how that's going to pan out for you as like this neutral thing, not this I'm going to expand in 1 month type of vibe. Okay? I know how that relates to myself as well. It's just, it's almost like if you have a really big cake and you want to split it up between 12 people, but there are 24 people, then there are some people that want the cake more than other people, and some people want to divide it in equal amounts because they consider that to be fair. So it's about really getting a lot deeper in February and deciding, okay, what is it that I really want? And it does feel like self-expression in January and February are going to be really helpful, but nurture yourself and look at the quality of things. That's what I was just saying, really find out who really wants that cake, because otherwise don't waste your energy or time on things that really aren't getting you anywhere at all. That sounds extreme. So, and let me know, what is your resolution if you have one? Let's go into March. March feels like a funny month too. You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission, Akasha. Okay, which is interesting because I'm just graduating from my Akashic Records program certification that I'm taking. And so, what it is we dive really deep into people's actual abilities, the things that make them beautiful, etc. Because a lot of times people, as I was saying, with self-esteem issues, struggle with knowing what brings them light, what makes them happy, joy, being more considerate of, I guess, themselves, and when they are, they're nicer to other people. But this is telling me in March that there's this need to really, really tap in to what it is that you're meant to do. And it makes sense that the divine purpose is coming up throughout the week, or sorry, throughout the year. I'm not used to doing yearlies, but it's saying that there is this trickle effect. If you really, really, really want something, then it's going to happen. So make that your mission, because if you want to heal an illness or heal a sickness or heal an addiction of some sort, there's a lot of time that goes into that. So it's a very much like, if you're feeling stuck, you have to get help with it. So if you expect yourself to be able to just get out of your own ruts when you're going through difficult times, it doesn't feel positive that way. This is saying that really, the expectations that we put on ourselves and the expectations that other people put on us is not helping. And the other thing too would be that we have to see things through light and dark, so that we will have high moments and we'll have low moments. And that if we think that it's all going to be um, difficult, we're less likely to do it. But if we also think that it's going to be a high time for us, it's also not going to be. So it's, again, everything comes down to being more realistic in how you're kind of like diving into these things that you want. And so I do feel like if you have parents in March, your parents are going to become more significant in your life, because if you don't see your parents as people who um, are play a large role in your life, then that might become an issue for you. So just look into even how your parents affect your life and what type of impact they've had, good or bad. It's just look into it. I think that you'll find that we can start to see how we have good qualities that our parents have that have given us like beautiful talents and things like that. So it's very much how we're seeing and viewing things, but you also have to take a lot of action, okay? So it makes sense that the first 3 months for people this year is going to play a huge role in how our year goes. As I said, when you say that you want something, then you have to make it happen. And some people just don't even bother with New Year's. They're just like, nah, just I don't have a New Year's resolution. I don't bother with those things. But it's really important to reflect, I feel. So we have two cards for April. And Rochelle, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. Oh, thank God. This is my birthday. And I like that the energy of green is there as well. As I was already discussing, it's about that love for life and speaking from our heart and trusting our heart, etc. And so this person is kind of starting to follow to the beat of their own drum. They're starting to find more passions and dreams, etc. Because I do feel like after we get over this hump that we're going through, we're going to start seeing things less in black and white. And we're going to bring more color into our world. So if there are some people that are only seeing things in black and white, but we're seeing things in color, that's going to be a good indication of who to go towards and who not to go towards, right? Because we're still listening to ourselves as we're transitioning and transforming into different people. So I think that's really important. And let me know if any of this makes sense to you. I know we're doing some future energy here, so but I'd love to know what you're focusing on right now. If it's health, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations, Isabella. Okay. So this is saying that not everybody is going to agree as well. So sometimes we have to agree to disagree. But the key thing that keeps coming up is passion. As long as you like what you're doing, that's all that matters. And so, I mean, it's about being respectful Of others, yes, but at the same time, it seems like a big portion that's coming up is our self-esteem and our self-worth and doing things that you love to do, because if you don't, then where are you gonna be, right? You might be in touch with your own reality, and that's great, but it's just because you're in touch with your reality doesn't mean that you're enjoying it. And so it feels like asking for help, getting help, partnerships, relationships are going to be significant in April, okay? And so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So then we have May. I'm getting a lot of energy kind of in my chest. Keep charging ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miracle solutions to appear. Mystique. Okay, this is talking about there is some negative energy, definitely. So May is obviously when we start to transition into a little bit of like a nicer weather, that sort of thing. We're kind of getting out of our hibernation or whatever it is. But you might find that, you might be enthusiastic about things and you're like, yes, I want to do this. And then you're realizing, oh my God, some people are just still being negative. It's really hard for me to continue when the people around me aren't positive. And so May is telling us that if you want solutions to problems, you might have to figure them out on your own rather than relying on other people, because sometimes you just have to take the lead and you have to have trust and keep the faith that maybe you just need to continue even if you don't have everything necessarily that you want from others. And so there's going to be a big shift with people, okay? And my goodness, as we know, 2020 has been really, really crazy. Just, I mean, everybody has a different version of that, but I mean, if you think about, if we go back to our 2020, how that's unfolded for us, even if we just look into 2021, how that is still playing a role. Oh, no coincidence, this card comes up. Patience, June. Now is the time to learn, study, and gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. All right. This is still kind of talking about some of this pandemic energy and how there's a need to focus on our frequency. So, frequency is more than just being high or being low. It really is about finding a way to measure how you feel. So in June, you're going to be feeling like it feels like more outgoing. I'd say when the weather changes, people feel better. But it's also about like when you can connect to yourself, then everything is better. So over the months, if you kind of listen to what I'm saying, then this will make more sense, because you've learned to almost like communicate a bit better with people in terms of telling them, how you're feeling, because you actually know how you're feeling. And so it's about, yeah, there might be some stillness that's important, or maybe you're doing that, but it's still this need to really have effective communication. And partnerships are still going to be playing a major role in this, because if you really want to get ahead, at the end of the day, you need other people. It's really important. And so it's really about honoring your commitments that you probably started off with at the beginning of the year. Already feeling the shift, learning to communicate better. Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you for sharing that. July. Xana, you are protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. So I think we'll all be a lot happier when the summer starts to trickle in. We're having a snowstorm right now, just getting a little bit dark. It's a really strange thing for me to feel like it's getting dark at this time of day. But the green energy is really beautiful. So it's saying that take time for yourself. Again, very important, but also don't be afraid to express how you feel, and join in with the community, with society, things like that. Just don't be afraid to be more involved in things, because I think a lot of times we feel like it's easier to pull back than it is to go forward, because of the extremities of life. And this is saying that if you don't participate, if you don't become a part of things, you're going to feel like you're almost hiding from things. and you become estranged to things that maybe you were meant to do. And so participation is really, really important in order to be happy. If you don't, then again, what, do you want your piece of the pie? Well, you do, but you're not really taking the time to do that. And it does feel like there's this forward movement. And for a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of lessons coming forward in July. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy doing this stuff when you feel it because um, it's different for everybody, but at the same time, like I know for myself, I was aware of some of the stuff that was coming in um, around a year from now. I could feel a lot of this stuff. And so now that I'm feeling all this stuff coming in for 2021, it does feel like it's still a lot. And so, but at least more people are aware of it. And I think that that's great. That's why I'm kind of saying, like, start doing some of this work. August, I am the angel of peace. I bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. Shanti, love this card. So, this is saying that some people are getting on board with certain things, and other people are just dismissing things as nothing. And so, instead of getting upset about that, just focus on your new future plan. So, if you can let go of judgment, which Shanti teaches us, and just to come back in and start focusing on how you connect with people, how you click with people, who are the people that you do connect with. And when you have those people that you resonate with and feel their energy, then you don't have to feel all that negative stuff anymore. So, really feel the energy on a deeper level in August. It will be really helpful for you, okay? September. Well, my breathing doesn't feel like 100. We have Indriel. You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. All right. So, this is saying that some people are being negative towards other people, and it creates this dysfunction feeling. And so instead of people seeing that they're connected to others, they're seeing that they're actually separated from others. And so when we look at things from different perspectives, it actually can be helpful, again, if we talk to each other about it and find some common ground. And so we don't have to take those extremes in terms of I'm all for you or I'm all against you. It can just be this neutral, happy thing that happens. And so this is this trickle effect throughout the year. And so if we embody more knowledge and wisdom and take the energy and apply it into the things that we love to do, then we won't be angry or upset with other people as much. And so it's keeping the connection and feeling like your health is important, but at the same time, like you're not going to over consume your time and energy in things that you really don't feel like you're meant to do anyway. So, somebody needed to hear that because if you're following this stuff, it'll be fantastic. But if you're not, you might not need to hear some of these things as they come up. So you could go back and watch this reading later, okay? But it feels like don't be sad because things are happening. And even though you feel sad, it's just there's a lot of reasons to be happy and thankful and grateful too. So, October, Omega, victory, your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. Okay. And we have Thanksgiving in there. So, this is saying that it feels like a lot of people are going to become aware that they've been through some really, really crazy times and that the energy is changing and that you might feel like solitude is extra important in October, but also that you're not the same person as you used to be. So you're kind of like learning yourself. And it's like, wow, like I've changed so much. I've been working on my self-esteem. I've been working on shifting and changing and grounding and becoming more a part of society, whatever it is. You might feel like um, you care a little bit less about certain things and you care way more about other things. So just notice how that connects to you. But that trickle effect that I'm saying is going to be really important for people that need a lot of emotional releasing. um, October might be the time where you're really getting positive benefits from that. And for people that haven't been able to get that out, they might start to even do negative things because of how they're feeling, okay? So it's so important. November. Okay. There's a little bit of like a racing mind coming up here. Chantel, new romance is imminent either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in your existing relationship. Be open to giving and receiving love. Okay, so this is saying that someone might feel like they're not taking care of their health, their body. Again, body image is super important, but this is also saying that there are some people that have been shifting and changing so much that if they just bring it back into gratitude, they'll be okay. And so it's if you're hesitant to say something or if you're holding back at all, this is about listening to your instincts. And so November is going to be teaching us to um, take more risks and be almost like a bit more of a rebel and change when you need to change and just see what happens instead of worrying or fearing plans, etc. Then we go into December, and I hope you guys had a beautiful holiday. We have December, Archangel Raphael. I love him. I am helping you heal physical challenges. I want to say changes in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. All right, this is saying that there are some people who will be struggling in December because they're not paying attention to things basically that I've been saying. And so it's kind of like they want to escape reality. They want to get away from things instead of actually noticing what's going on. And when I say noticing, it's not big things, it's just how they're feeling. So it's escaping yourself in healthy ways by doing things that you like and having fun. And again, if you're worrying about what other people think or that sort of thing and plans, the planning's not going to be beneficial for you, okay? Yes, you have to be organized, but you don't need to be over consuming yourself in things that at the end of the day you really can't control, all right? And then if we go into December, we'll say like January 1st of 2022, you have a gift for working with young people and your divine purpose involves helping, teaching, or parenting children. And the throat chakra is really important, expressing how you feel. If there's something that you want to make a change in, then make that decision. It's going to kind of keep that energy is going to continue. So if you're not taking care of your basic needs right now, such as your food and your health, then you're going to feel like you keep continuing the same patterns and the same cycles. And if you really want to have the things that you want in your life, sometimes you have to fight for that energy, but other times you just have to take a break and rest a bit more. So it's just, if you're indecisive right now, that's okay. It's good to organize your thoughts and just feel more uplifted and joyful by doing things, again, that make you happy. That seems to be our theme. If I repeat myself, it's because we need to hear it, and there's a theme in that, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing a full January reading as well on my Robin's Healing page if you want to check that out. Otherwise, have a great New Year's holiday and weekend. Bye for now.